What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Panthers Advice. Today, day 8 of training camp. All right, doing the live stream. I know it's kind of random, but sometimes, man, just feel like doing a live stream. So feel free to fast forward this thing. You're just tuning in later. What's going on, BS? What's going on? I gotta give me 1 second real quick. Day 8's in the books? Day 8 is in the books, man. I'm excited. We have, 1 week until the schedule. Let's pull up the schedule. Let me pull it up real quick. Schedule. It's coming up. Is it? Oh, they play on the Friday. Okay, so it's not the Thursday. It's a Friday. I'll pull up the whole schedule real quick so everyone can see. Minimize that real quick. All right, ESPN. Let's see right here. Alrighty. Now let's get the first half. That first half real quick. Right. Just mute that noise. What's going on, Miss 23? Ken, how we doing? What's going on, D Davis? How we doing? Boom, boom, boom. Pull up the schedule. Yeah, man. 1 week from today, Browns. Dave Canales did say that Bryce Young, and props to Dave Canales. You know, I was worried, was Bryce Young going to play preseason? Was he not going to play? I'm not mistaken with what's her face, Kay Adams. He said that Bryce is going to play preseason week 1. My fault. Man, I thought about doing a video on the Parsons thing. I'm not gonna lie, I thought about it, but I'm like, the Panthers haven't struck me as this front office hasn't struck me as a front office that's gonna go. I just don't feel like they're gonna go after the big name players right now, and maybe that's because they don't feel like we're there yet, right? Where is Micah going to take us to that next level, right? So Micah would be dope. And I thought about making a bit of let me not, because I don't know how the front office would do it. Saw the press conference with Canales, said we're looking solid. Yeah, I mean, the team looks. I said the only worrisome position I think is inside linebacker, right? That's the only worrisome position. But the offense is clicking, right? You get up by possession or two. The teams can't run the ball inside all day, right? So they're gonna have to do something else. According to everybody else too, Josh Smith-Wade has taken that next step up. So now you got him, Mike J, you got J.C. Horn on top of that. Safeties, I'm not going to say any names, okay? But some people weren't happy who was playing in the ones earlier this week. But safeties, I think we're good too. Outside linebackers, I think we have depth there. And then interior, I've said about Tershawn Warren since the beginning. I think we're fine there. What's going on, Pancake? Parsons, yeah, it would be crazy. Definitely add up some ones for Parsons. Yeah, I mean, Parsons, man, it's almost like is it too good to be type of true type of thing, right? Horns humiliating everybody. Better career than Travis Hunter. I mean, yeah, the only reason he wouldn't is if teams start to double him, right? But then you got T-Mac on the out. I mean, the Panthers are deep when it comes to receivers. They're deep, right? Because if you double Horn, then you leave T-Mac open, and then you leave potentially Get or Coker. I mean, then you got Thielen, you got Renfro. I mean, it's actually crazy how deep they are. Like the receiver, like if you go back and look at the receivers for the Panthers over the past 5 years, one could argue that receiver was probably when it came to depth, Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, it's still playing. What else we got? What else we got? What's going on, Caleb? What's going on, my guy? Parsons would be hilarious. Yeah, Nick Scott's the safety everyone's not high on. And I guess we'll dive into it right here since we're talking about it. Is there a chance Nick Scott starts? Yes, because what was it? Avero doesn't like playing young guys. From what I read and people who talk to sources or whatever, Avero doesn't like playing young guys. Now, they've got Damani, they've got Lathan Ransom. Both kind of young. Nick Scott has some experience in his system. So Nick Scott might start, even though we saw it happen last year. He might start. Yeah, we need. Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe Roseboom and Trevin are the real deal, right? But this year, I just don't know if they're going to take that step to beat that guy yet. And I wouldn't expect them to be honest, right? I don't think it's fair to put that on Trevin. Boys are good this year. Yeah, it's the first year where I think solid, kind of all the way around. Trade for Micah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, what do you give up, though, right? What do you give up for Micah? We still horn. Amen, amen, amen. Parson. It depends, right? Because isn't he going to play outside or he's going to rush? We're still Anderson or Parsons. If we could pull him off, but that's as long as the offense gets clicking. Now, I think the offense is going to click for sure, right? I think the offense will click for sure. But if the offense, for some reason, knock on wood, right, doesn't click, then we're still in trouble in the middle, right? Let me pull up. These were today's highlights from Carolina Panthers Training Camp. Let me use that real quick. Again, all around team looks good. You know, you got Princely apparently popping people. Oh, can't really see myself. You got Princely popping people in practice. I guess he popped what? Chuba and Raheem, or he decleated Raheem. Like, Princely is what this defense needed. And I thought this was what Josie Jewell was going to be, was, you know, he was an outlaw, right? But you never saw him do anything where, like, okay, Josie's that guy. Princely, he might be the – I don't know how familiar you guys are, how much you guys watch basketball. He might be the Draymond Green type that we need. Now, that could come across like an insult depending on how you view Draymond Green. But to me, that's going to be Princely's role as that enforcer, right? He's going to be the guy who's going to do things that if he's on your team, you're happy. If he's not on your team, you're going to hate him. And I have a feeling the Bucks, the Saints, and the Falcons are not going to like Princely. Princely is going to be – he's going to be a menace, man. He's going to be a menace. All right, what's going on, Blue Wolf? If we plan on being good this year, our first-round picks will be late teens, early 20s. Okay, I see what you're saying. So trade them now. Otherwise, those picks will be back. I see. How do I get rid of – it's going to be received by committee. We'll lose too much for Micah. What's going on, Marcus? And then 828 pulling up. We got some receivers. It's going to grab the ball. Yeah, we have a – I mean – and the good part about this is we've got depth. I think – well, you got T-Mac and Leggett on one side. You've got Renfro and Thielen kind of replacing each other. And you got Coker and Horn kind of – like, that's crazy right there. T-Mac and Leggett, Renfro and Thielen, Horn and Coker. I mean, just plug and play. Just plug and play, man. It's just crazy. I look at this way. Parsons is still young. If we get him, we could lock down – yeah, Parsons. I mean, maybe I'll do a video on it. Maybe once more comes out tomorrow. Because all we know today is that he requested a trade, and he's personal trade to Stephen Jones, right? Jerry Jones' son. And then, like, the Cowboys did want to talk to Micah if he had an agent. Like, it's a lot of shady stuff going on there. Princely's definitely, yeah, Princely's he's gonna be a menace. What's good, Marcus? Hendrickson is considered old and washed, but Parsons still is prime and one of the best. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to argue it. No, I'm not going to argue it. We got depth. Yeah, we got stupid depth on the D line. You got stupid, and I think A'Shawn Robinson's going to be a big sleeper this year. I think he got too much flack last year. Right, he didn't play great. Don't get me wrong. A'Shawn definitely didn't play great, but nobody else did around him either. Right, and when you brought him in, you saw what he could do, but then he had no help around him. Kind of getting double teamed, kind of getting chipped. I think if you bring him in on like a second string type of thing, A'Shawn Robinson's going to be a problem. I'm going to put. Let me pull up his stats real quick before I say something stupid. Hold up. A'Shawn Robinson stats. All right. 6'4", 320. He's 30. He had 5.5 sacks last year. If he had 5.5 last year, that's actually his career high. No, that can't be right. Is that right? Hold up. Let me screenshot this so I can show you guys. I should make that bigger. Slightly smaller. Excuse me. Boom. All right, let's pull it up. Yeah, I see that now, Lawson. I see that. I did not realize the amount of slack he was getting online. Good Lord. I'm pulling up that image last from. Let's go right here. Yeah, so sacks. Sacks 5.5 last year. He had 5.5 last year with a defense that couldn't do anything and no help around him. Is it crazy to think he'll go to 8? I mean, is that crazy to think he'll do 8 this year potentially? Healthy, because you got to think about it like this. He's going to be healthier, I would assume, right? He's a little bit older, but he's going to be healthier. He's going to play less snaps. The team, hopefully, the Panthers will actually have a lead this year, right? So potentially more opportunities to sack the quarterback as what? Last year, teams ran on the Panthers the most out of any other team, and he did 5.5. Ooh, A'Shawn might. It's going to be interesting watching him. That's going to be interesting. But I think T-Mac, I'm not going to lie, Blue Wolf. I was one of those people who I watched this defense. I'm like, go Jalen Walker, go Michael Williams, go Mason Graham, go defense. But then the more I watch T-Mac, TMC, Tetaroa, I'm like, this dude's a problem. Now, the only reason I think it'll take a little bit of time is just the scheme, learning how different defensive backs play him, right? Let's pull up that schedule real quick. Let me pull it up. Like, Jacksonville will be interesting. New England, this stretch right here, Blue Wolf, from New England to Buffalo, okay, I think that's going to be the big learning curve. But the first 3, I'm not too concerned, right? But you go down here. So it's actually good. He's going to get his feet wet against Jacksonville, Arizona, come home at Atlanta. That game is going to be crazy, especially if the Panthers can knock, even if they only win one of these. But they can knock out these first 2. Week 3, might have to go to Carolina. Might have to pull up to Charlotte. I'm not going to lie. Week 3 is going to be insane. Week 3 is going to be insane if we pull up these first 2. The bank might be rocking because at New England, Miami, Dallas. Dallas is going to be interesting too, given how they're looking. And Dallas is going to be interesting because they got Pickens now and CeeDee Lamb. And Vero doesn't like to switch, right? So he doesn't want J.C. Horn following CeeDee Lamb and so on and so forth. So Mike J's going to have his hands full. Shaw Smith-Wade's going to have his hands full. J.C. Horn is. Dallas and Miami is going to be an interesting one to watch. Where are we at? Career. Yep. He gonna be fresh. Yep. Let's see what else we got. Also, apparently Parsons wanted to. Yeah, that's right. That video. What he's working with the Bleacher Report, I think. And Dallas's whole plan was to get T-Mac. And they got Pickens after him, if I'm not mistaken. Got to stay healthy. Yeah, right. That's why they fired 2 or 3 people from that training staff. With the schedule. Appreciate Panther Gal. Sometimes they're short, sometimes they're long. I'm not a very social person, you know. Jacksonville's gonna be a great test. Oh yeah, right. And Brian Thomas Jr. I think he's good, right? So that's gonna be interesting to see how J.C. Horn and Mike J do with them. We're gonna find out pretty quick. I hope T-Mac. I hope will get Rookie of the Year or Jimmy Horn. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see kind of the scheme for Horn. Right? Do they? Because when Dave did his interview with, I wish I would have pulled that up, but when Dave did his interview with Kay Adams, he talked about the team's going to be a run-first offense, right? Where was I going? My fault. Team's going to be a run-first offense. So how do you get Horn and T-Mac in there consistently is going to be interesting because you still got Leggett, you still got Renfro, you still got Thielen, you still got Coker. It's going to be interesting to see kind of how they kind of scheme Horn in there. I think Horn should be in there a lot. But with Dave repeating that he wants to be a run-first offense, we'll see what happens there. Week 1's going to show me something. Well, I'm not going to lie. Win or lose, I just hope we see the offense and the potential that they have, right? Win or lose, I hope they don't get blown out. Let me rephrase. I hope they don't get blown out, but I hope we see an offense that's actually going to put up points. Right? I hope we see the tail end of last year come into fruition this year. Bryce got to be himself. I want to see T-Mac make plays. I feel like T-Mac's going to make plays, right? One-handed catches. It's going to be interesting to see how many times he tries to do that in the game, preseason-wise, before the coach is like, you know he's going to try it, though. You know he's going to try it. Only threat I see is Green Bay, Buffalo, maybe Pittsburgh. Green Bay, Buffalo, maybe Pittsburgh. Yeah, everyone else is definitely beatable. A lot of money, a lot of capital, the future. Prince is becoming a fan favorite. Oh, 100% D. 100%. I mean, he's even on X. I got to get off X. It's starting to influence some of the things I think and stuff. Not but Prince is what this defense needed. He's going to be that enforcer. I think we won by 10 plus. I hope so, man. That would be crazy because what the last 2 years, practices opening 2 years ago with Frank, that was bad. Go back to last year against the Saints. Last year against the Saints was terrible, and it wasn't even just Bryce. The run defense, even with Derek Brown, everybody was healthy against the Saints. And the Saints ran all over us. The Saints passed all over us. That was the worst thing about last year, right? Bryce definitely didn't play great, but the defense couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop the pass. Short, deep, medium, long. It was just – last year was bad. Appreciate that, Panther Gal. I got to get back to those breakdowns once that season kicks back up. It comes down to capital, and you got to think of it like this. VS, they didn't trade for Pat P last year. There was all those DBs they could have had last year, or even this year too, with Justin Simmons and everything. What's his face? Who went to the Colts? I'm drawing a blank right now. They're just not that type of front office that's going to do that. Very analytical, right? They're very analytical with all their moves. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense, right? So that's good. Is it great? Yeah. We got Bryce on that rookie contract. Take advantage of that lockdown. Sure defensive threat. I see where you're going. Just need smart players. Yep. What else we got? Take another leap year. Yeah, because Bryce, we saw the tail end of Bryce, or we saw the tail end of last season. We saw a little something with Bryce, and that was with what, Coker and Thielen? That was it? And Coker was a rookie. Thielen was getting started like he was the number one receiver. So now Coker, another year under his belt. Thielen, if Thielen's still looked at as number one receiver, we have a problem. But he won't be looked at as the number one receiver anymore. So now imagine the numbers he's going to do. The potential that he has. That's just crazy. Yep. Pressure on Trevor. Yeah, we have to. Because we haven't put pressure on anyone in the last 2 years. Houston's a mid threat at best, definitely not a high threat. That first season was a fluke. That's the thing, right? It's that sophomore slump too. So we're gonna find out just how good they are. Look, the whole thing with CJ and what Houston fans didn't want to acknowledge was how good Nico Collins and Tank Dell were, right? Nico Collins and Tank Dell has stupid speed, right? Opens up the top. Nico Collins is essentially our T-Mac. Great route runner. I think T-Mac has a higher ceiling than Nico Collins does. But no Texans fans wanted to admit that. That was a problem with them. That CJ had two great receivers. Unfortunately, Tank Dell, hurt twice in a row. That's unfortunate, but yeah, great receivers. Sweep the Falcons. I'm looking forward to that one because they kind of went opposite of the Panthers, where they took kind of the best defensive player available every single pick. They got that safety. They got JPJ. They got Jalen Walker. The Falcons are going to be an interesting team to watch the next 3 to 4 years to kind of see how this draft class alone turned out for them. Right? Their parts will be depressed. It's just, yeah, I see what you're saying. My predictions, it's hard. I'll give you a prediction. It's hard to say just because I don't know the scheme. I don't know. Well, we don't know who's going to be on that 53-man roster, receiver-wise. That's going to be interesting to see. My predictions, I'd say between 9 to 12 wins. I'll make more of a sure thing before week 1, but as of right now, 9 to 12. Right, just because there's certain circumstances you can't equate for. But I do think we have a winning season this year. Falcons are not going to be good. Derek Brown, Bobby Brown, I can't wait. Parsons just wants to get paid. Yeah, that's all it is. And the Cowboys trying to do some shady stuff. XL low-key been working on those routes. It will be a pleasant surprise. XL's gonna be fine. I know lately the narrative is I've been critiquing him a little bit. I have kind of been watching him a little bit more closely, but that's because the film that people keep putting out is kind of negative on XL, and that's why I said I have to stay off Twitter a little bit, because that's all I keep seeing. So if that's all I keep saying, obviously that's what I'm going to talk about. So it has nothing to do with him as a person, how I feel about him. But if that's all I keep seeing when I'm on X, Twitter, I'm going to address it. I'm going to try and stay off X and Twitter as much. That way I don't let it kind of mess with my mind. But yeah, XL it'll be completely fine. Defense line should be great. Defensive line should be great, especially if the Panthers can get a lead. That's the main thing. Yep. 8-9 floor, 11-6 ceiling. I'm basically in that same boat. Would you have drafted CJ or Bryce before their first season in NFL? Blue, I was all Bryce, but it all depended on the offense you wanted to run. With Frank Reich, it didn't make sense to get Bryce because you look at Bryce's strong suits, it didn't really, to me, fit kind of Frank's criteria. Frank wants a quarterback like CJ Stroud, right? That's kind of how he built his game plan. Dave Canales, look who he worked with. You go back to Geno Smith, you go back to Baker Mayfield, Russell Wilson. You see Dave Canales fits that Bryce Young mold. Frank Reich had Peyton Manning. I can't remember Frank's quarterbacks. Was it Peyton, Andrew Luck, and somebody else. CJ Stroud kind of fits that bigger quarterback mold. So when they took Bryce, like, okay, Frank's going to make it work. I felt like Frank was trying to force Bryce to do something that Bryce just wasn't in his wheelhouse. I said 7 closer. The 7-10 floor, I still don't think it's bad, Dave. I'm right there with you. I don't think we won 7 games and we start to see progress. I was talking to somebody else about this the other day. You feel like they kind of built offense like we're kind of set there. If that's true, and they get to build the defense next year, man, that's going to be scary. We beat Houston at our worst. Yep, we did. That was crazy. Bryce Young to beat CJ Stroud. Yep. I appreciate that, Panther Gill. Yep. I'm going to try to. I just got to figure out the right schedule. As you see, I'm kind of on vacation right now. Sometimes these streams just like, oh, let me pop a stream real quick. This offense reload, I can't wait to see the gate year number 2. Yeah, he's got that 4.3. He's got that big body. He's got that big catch radius. Legette's everything you want in a receiver. Now we're trying to get all pen to paper type thing. All right, so on CJ, yes sir. The Falcons are not a threat. They haven't been. No, they're not a threat. It's just going to be interesting to see how those draft picks turned out. Let's see. I'm high on this team because our offense, but our defense definitely going to shock some people, I believe. Yeah, as long as we get the lead, right? The pass rush should be crazy. BS. Yeah, I didn't even think about the line, BS. That's right. That rookie year, that Panthers O-line was so bad. I forgot about that. Yeah. Good call. Compared to CHA's line, yes, that line was so bad. I forgot about that. Good call. I'll go 8-10. Yeah, 8-10 wouldn't be a bad, Panther Gal. Scroll. Derek Brown, a true problem. People forget. Yeah, Derek Brown's going to be insane. And if he's getting double teamed like I think he will, Tershon Wharton, Bobby Brown in the middle, stuff to run, I mean, it's going to be crazy. 500. 7 is too low. I think they're kind of just playing it safe. BS. Playing it safe. I don't blame them. Let me go back to these highlights real quick from the Carolina Panthers channel real quick. There we go. Jimmy Horn. It's going to be a problem. And that's the other thing I think we have this year we didn't have last year. Is a true red zone threat. I mean, let me know in the comments real quick. But I don't know that we had one, right? And how many times last year did we get to the red zone? Not even inside the 10, and Dave would take a field goal. I was at the Chiefs and Panthers game. And I think Dave had like 4 field goals. 4 field goals that game, right? Now you got Jatavion Sanders, hopefully healthy back. Mitchell Evans doesn't look too bad either. You got Horn, who's quick on that whip route. Hunter Renfrow was nasty. You got Get potentially back, right, and healthy. Then you got T-Mac. We might actually have a red zone threat. We might have a red zone threat this year. XLB most improved. Just watch. All right, Davis. I'm banking on that. Most improved. All right. What are we thinking numbers wise, Davis? Let me know. What are we thinking numbers wise? I don't expect anything too. Ooh. Hold up. Was that JC on that pick? I couldn't see completely. Let me see. Damn. JC got up right there. JC's a bad boy, man. JC got up. You got Mitchell Evans right there. Mitchell Evans. The thing with Mitchell Evans, to me, it's going to be kind of like Bobby Brown in the middle, where he's not going to do a lot, but at the same time, what he does is going to result in big plays for other people. Excuse me. Mitchell Evans, man. Because I think they want Tommy Tremble to be healthy. Ooh, nice little pick right there. that back. Oh, run that back just a little bit more. Rather than Mitchell Evans catch. Good defense. Not bad, man. And Shaw Smith played with the pick too. Defense is cooking. If we can get teams to pass. Oh, by the way, Davis, appreciate that super chat, Davis. My fault. Trying to get distracted with the highlights. If we can get teams to pass, man, then big boy Derek Brown was at Roseman right there. Mike J. Tedoroa McMillan. I mean, damn. 800 yards, 6 touchdowns. What do you do? Let me pull up what XL did last year. Xavier Leggett. Let's see. He did. I'll screenshot it. Hang on. Remove that. All right, so Leggett last year, 50 catches, give or take, right? 500 yards, 10-yard average, 4 touchdowns. What'd you got? You got 6 touchdowns, so you got 2 more touchdowns, 300 more yards. How many catches, Davis? Are we doing 50 for 800 this year? This was Leggett last year. What are we thinking? If he goes 800, what are we thinking? 60 catches? I think he goes more than 4 touchdowns. I'm going to be honest. I think he goes more than 4 touchdowns. I don't know. Just that room is so deep, man. It's a weird problem to have, looking back at the last few years. But I think he goes easily more than 4. There was a few where, mental mistakes. Let me know, Davis. What are we thinking touchdown-wise? What are we thinking? Still thinking 6? What do we got? Roseman just got to come up and play physical in the run game. He did with the Rams, Lawson. He did. I just wonder how much of it was him and how much was the Rams front 7. Because arguably the Rams almost beat the Eagles, to go to that Super Bowl, right? The Rams almost won. So I don't know if Roseman was a product of the system or he's really that guy. Are you doubling? Are we doubling XL's numbers? 100 receptions? But they know we are a sleeping giant. These the same Panthers. It might. I mean, they made a ton of moves. Yeah, confidence is the main thing. Confidence is the main thing with him. Because once you start dropping that thing and you're in front of 30, 40, 50, 60,000 people, it hits different, man. It hits different. Catches, his routes are way better. His routes are way better. I agree. It's just those focus. Dave had him doing those little hitch routes, those out routes, and not a lot of ends. I think instead of running the ends, he was running mostly drags or crossers, if I'm not mistaken. Still 6 touchdowns. Okay, I see. Yeah, I mean, 800 I think is definitely feasible. Okay, I got you. I mean, I look at it like if I had to predict, I'd probably go 70 catches, 800 yards probably, but I'm thinking 8 touchdowns. If he continues to progress week to week, I want to say 1,000 yards, but I don't know if he can get 1,000 yards along with Tedoroa, along with Horn, Thielen, Renfro, Coker. I want to say 1,000, but I just don't know how feasible that is with everybody else. All the other receivers, plus the running backs with Chuba, Rico, Trevor Etienne, plus the tight ends. I mean, I didn't even mention Jatavion Sanders, mention Tremble coming back, mention Mitchell Evans. The offense is deep. I mean, will anybody get 1,000 yards? I think Tedero will if he doesn't get double teamed. If they double team him early, somebody else is going to pop off. And that might be Leggett, that might be Horn. It's going to be interesting, man. And it's crazy to think about, too, because if they double team the Horn, right, the coaches are going to game plan. Horn's essentially going to potentially run towards Tederoa's side, which is going to basically take that single high safety look. If we get a single high safety look, take him over there and give you one-on-one on the outside. That could be Leggett. That could be Coker. It's going to be interesting. What's going on, Panther Dog? What's up, my guy? Someone's going to get open, yeah. And as long as Bryce hits him, we're cooking. And I think he will. I think he will. Let me finish this up real quick. So, where we at? And Bryce, it just feels like he's taking that next step up too. You know, when he came back after being benched, but Sanders, I never understood, and maybe you guys can clear it up, the chat can clear it up, but he got hurt the Chiefs game, and then you never really saw him again, but they never said it was injuries. So I never understood why he stopped playing. The Chiefs thing was brutal to watch, right? But I never understood why he never really came back. Sanders, man, that dude's a beast. All right, and then Coker right there. That was from the Panthers. And then who you got leading us? You're saying Jatavion? That'd be interesting. Then right here's Chris right here. Carolina Panthers on Charlotte Vibe, man of the people. Make sure you go check him out. His content, man. He's coming through every day, giving everybody 8 minutes worth of clips. And not shorts. Like actual film over everything. So go check out Chris on Carolina Panthers on Charlotte Vibe, but he's a beast. Doomsayer's Arsenal, big, scary, and versatile. Yeah, the offense, we got a lot of tall weapons. Leggett, Coker, Jatavion, tall-ish. I don't know how. Is Leggett, what is it? Is he 6? Okay, they have him at 6'1". Tedero is what, 6'4"? I think. He's 6'4". Was Jatavion, I'm going to guess, 6'2"? He's 6. Damn, Jatavion's 6'4". So Jatavion and Tedero are both 6'4". Leggett 6'1", 6'2"-ish. Man, this could be crazy. This team could be crazy. Florilla and the Derby turned XL up, I promise. Deontay is no longer in the way, and Bryce trusts him to an extent. Yeah, I think Bryce definitely likes Leggett. Attack the ball better. Leggett doesn't even, my thing with Leggett, it's just focus drops. And like you said, he worked on his routes. He'll be good. As long as he just keeps progressing. The thing is with Leggett, I can keep critiquing the training camp thing, right? People can keep saying this, and a third. The more he starts to play and starts to go against the man, the zone, then he'll really start to progress. Then we'll see. The training camp stuff, how many times have we seen people in training camp do good or bad? But he doesn't translate one way or the other. So, Leggett, I go back to that schedule. Do I still have it? I do. I go back to the schedule. Honestly, the first 3 weeks, I think he's going to pop off one of these weeks. I really do. Which one? Does he do it against Atlanta? He might do it against Atlanta. Get his feet wet the first 2 weeks and then come home and just go crazy. Excuse me. He might score a first touchdown. Oh, for the season? Hey, that'd be a nice little bet right there. I'm sure you might make a pretty dime on that. He might. I mean, Carolina Reapers. Amen. I can't wait. We got the first week, or not first week, in 1 week against the Browns. You know, Dave said they're going to play. Thank God, because last year he didn't play Bryce till week 3, 1 drive, and here I am hyping up Bryce, and then everything went to you know what. But the thing is with that, and I made videos going over about Bryce, and it's just the end. But he was not the same quarterback you saw in the preseason. It was not the same guy. And he was trying to force the ball to Deontay Johnson. The run game wasn't working. The offensive scheme was new. People seemed kind of confused. Bryce was not the same guy in that preseason we saw. Week 1, week 2, trying to force that ball. It was all bad. He comes back after being benched. Deontay Johnson's gone. And now look what happened. You know, New England will be interesting in Foxborough. Yeah, at least it's in September and not December, not November. Otherwise, that'd be an interesting game to see. Drake May, he's got Stephon Diggs. The Patriots, they rebuilt. They stacked their defense, so it's going to be a fun matchup. Offense versus defense. That's what we're going to find out. We could go on a win streak easy. Our biggest threat the first week's the Steelers with washed up Rodgers. I think Buffalo's going to be interesting one to watch. And then my only thing is this right here. The defense, it's changed, but it hasn't changed as far as secondary. I mean, you bring in Trayvon Mulray, but it just depends where you put him. Miami only scares me because it's not cold weather, right? How many times did Rashid Shaheed beat us last year, right? Even we beat the Falcons. That game was going to, fourth quarter overtime-ish. The Falcons still put up a ton of points. I still worry about speed, to be honest, right? Evero, we're going to see. Will he have a job next year? Is it him, or is it the scheme, or is it the players? I guess him and the scheme is kind of the same thing, right? But, Steelers and ours. Amen. But no, we're going to find out. Arizona, we should have beat Arizona game was way too close last year. That game should not have been that close. Atlanta, New England, we're going to find out just how good the DBs or how much things have changed in the secondary, the front seven blitzing. Because week 1, go back to last year, it was just all bad. Amen. D-line going to change all that. Blitzers will get home. I've got to see something, right? Because last year, Carolina Panthers thoughts. Let me see. Excuse me. Defense, backs. Let's pull it up real quick. The defense was horrendous. 100%. Go back to sacks. I mean, this is who led the team in sacks last year. You had Ashawn, you had Clowney, you had DJ Wanham. DJ Wanham got 4? Interesting. Josie Jewell 3.5. Charles Harris, who's 30 plus, they brought out at the end of last season, had 3. JC Horn had 2. Jacoby Windmon second. I mean, I don't see how we don't improve from this. I don't see how we don't improve from this. I'm going to be honest. The fact Clowney got 5.5 is actually crazy. Oh wait, no. I got DJ Wanham and Johnson confused for a second. Yeah, DJ Wanham came in late. He got 4 sacks. He played that second half. I got that confused with DJ Johnson. Like, wait, DJ Johnson got 4? Right, and they released Barno. I didn't even do a video on that one. They released Barno. Barno was unfortunate, man. Barno had what was he, 6'6"? Barno had a stupid amount of potential. 6'6", 245 and runs, and he ran what, a 4.4? Amari Barno, man. What's going on, SG? Amari Barno, 6'6", 245, ran a 4.4. And the Panthers could not make that work. That was crazy to me. You know, DJ Johnson was new, kind of playing the end position. But Barno had, what was it, Virginia? Was it Virginia Tech? The Hokies? Yeah, he played with the Hokies. He just could not get to work. It's crazy. Let's see. Calling it 7-0, perhaps maybe even 8-0. I think we could beat the Bills. We almost got the Eagles last year. Yeah, the Bills is probably going to be the tough one. I think everyone's beatable with the offense we have. Who was odd receiver out? SG, no, I haven't even touched that, to be honest. I haven't even done the 53-man roster or anything. It's tough because I don't know how many receivers they're going to bring. Let me look up something real quick. Up chart. Our lads. There's a site called Our Lads, just so you guys know, which I use all the time. And they'll give you the depth chart for like the last 6-7 years, like every month. So let me see. Let me go back to last year. They had, well, I'll go 9-1, won't I? 9-2. So they had 5 receivers last year. If they only do 5 receivers, you got Leggett, you got Coker, I would assume, Tetaroa, Jimmy Horn. And you got Thielen. I would assume they're bringing on Renfro too. I imagine they bring in 6. I don't know, man. Because what, they had 5 receivers. How many tight ends did they have? They had 4 tight ends though, right? Because they had Ian Thomas, Tremble, Jatavion Sanders, and Jordan Matthews. So that's just their depth. That was the depth chart September 1st last year. So after the 53-man. So maybe instead of the 4 tight end set that they brought in last year, they do 3 tight ends, right? And have 6 receivers. That's gonna be interesting. Put him back up on the board. Okay, yeah. Well, okay, BS. If you watch that film, I can't think of the end or the edge guy's name. He constantly crashed in and just kept letting Mahomes scramble to the right every single time. I don't think you'll ever watch that game again. But if you look at the film, the edge guy consistently over pursues, and that's what Mahomes does. He backs up 10 yards, makes you come in to get him, and then bang, he loops it back around, and he's got Travis Kelce and Xavier Worthy, everybody else. The Bills just choked. Just choked. Travis Hunter getting exposed. I don't want to hate on the young boy, but I don't know if he'll be exposed. It's just going to be a learning curve for him, right? It's going to be how much is Jacksonville going to put on his plate right away. I mean, hopefully they put him one-on-one with Jimmy Horn. Jimmy Horn just takes him deep and just wears him out. That's what I hope for. Jimmy Horn just wears out Travis Hunter. Now, that's assuming they're not going to play kind of an under-over hook thing, whatever, maybe it's man coverage, right? Hopefully Horn can wear him out. I'm not worried about Miami defensively. It's more offensively and our secondary given the last 5 years. That's more what I'm worried about. Renfro is himself. Yeah, the offense, it's just the defense. Hang on. How do I get rid of this offense? Could be 215. I don't want to say that yet. I don't want to get, the hopes up. 2015 was all around a good team, right? And Bryce Young, has he taken that next step? Yeah, we're going to find out. Our schedule is weak. Yeah, it's definitely not. It's not a strong schedule on paper. Maybe some of these teams turn it on, but on paper it doesn't look terrible. 2015 though. 2015 is different. Hunter's gonna wish he was on the Panthers with Jimmy. Yeah, I don't. Jacksonville, and they made a stupid trade to get him too. I don't know that was the move. I'm glad the Panthers look to be done making stupid trades like that. They gave up a ton to get him, and I don't think that was what they needed to do. But good luck, Jacksonville. Oh yeah, Jimmy. I didn't even think about that. Jimmy and Travis did play together, didn't they? That's right. That's going to be interesting to see. They might. They'll probably put Travis on Jimmy. That's going to be interesting to see. I don't know how I forgot about that. Damn. All right, guys, that's probably going to wrap it up for me. We're going to go live more. I just got to figure out a right day for it. All right, but yeah, we'll definitely be more live. The season started. Appreciate everybody who came in tonight. Take it easy, guys. Hands devices out. Video coming tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. Maybe we'll touch on Micah. Maybe we won't. It's almost is it too good to be true? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Peace.